Nice abrupt cutoff there. Anyway, traveling. Gonna draw some stuff tonight. Don't have a whole lot to work with, so I'm gonna go over my sort of art camping situation here. Sorry about the audio. Let me fix some of that. Turn that down. Adjust something here. All these temporary setups I have. Turn that down a little bit. How's that? Like I'm peeking out anymore. Hopefully. Anyway, um, sort of went traveling and didn't bring a lot of art supplies to do any sketching, any work. Got one computer, one screen, so it's a little hard to talk and chat and draw. We're just gonna go at it tonight. I think I'm gonna do a Bright Dwight Glow and Amber. Um, I accidentally left a lot of my stuff at the house, but I've got a few things with me tonight. Got a pen here. This is one of my hard tip Tombow pens, pretty nice. I brought a brush pen, and I took some pencils from Lotto with my mouse. Got that. Let's see. Let me know if the chat's still working. I see you guys. See Joe's out there. Patrick, you're doing well. Let's see. Bear with me. Patrick, give me a comment if everything sounds okay on your side. Also, you can see I have this. I have no sketch cards, which is kind of funny because it's sketch carding live. But I do have some watercolor cards here that I'm going to. I bought some of these today. That's out. I'm going to cut these and make a sketch card out of it. So. And what else do I have? I didn't have a pencil, so I did. Like I said before, I got these at the gas station. So interesting. But I did break down finally and bought a travel mechanical pencil because I like mechanical pencils and I'm picky. So. And a few multi-liners. So, but I don't have any markers, and that's a big thing. So it kind of like reminds me of a video I've told a lot of people I'm going to work on is what are the essentials to draw, to sketch, that kind of thing. And it's made me think about it and putting it together. I grabbed a couple things today that I'm going to have to do some of this or just feel comfortable. So one of them is the Jelly Roll, with the Hobby Lobby, is the Jelly Roll markers or gel pens. Sorry, and I like this pack because it gives you a variety. It gives you the medium, and the fine, medium, and bold. So it gives you a 03, 05, 08, and 04. It says. So let's open it. Make sure I can translate what was in the package. There's a lot of packages of these, and honestly, it's a little confusing when you're looking at them without being able to see the side of the barrel. And that's what I wanted to see was just the side of the pen barrel, and I couldn't see that in the packaging. Let's throw those away. So 10. I don't use the 10s a whole lot. I think Bobby B and I talked about that. They're kind of large. The 5, pretty decent. Again, I'm using these to do corrections or dot I's and stuff like that. But I like these. And then the 8. I use the 8 a lot. That's probably my go-to. I can make it do pretty much what I want. So that's really what I wanted, but I grabbed a couple extras too because there are times when you want a thinner line. So the 05 and the 08 are pretty good. But anyway, just having one period. Even the 10 I could use. But these are pretty essential for me for corrections. And then traveling, I did have this Tombow hard nose, and I could use this to line with, but it's water-based, and I don't like things that are water-based because if I go over them, I'm always scared they're going to smear, and they usually do if you don't have something that's more permanent. And I don't have a permanent. This is also a water-based brush pen from Pentec. So these are just kind of out for anything but finalizing stuff. So I did what I told a lot of people to do is go buy these microns. So here's a 10, or is it a 1? Sorry. Yeah, so this is the 10. This is the big boy. I don't really use that one much. Here's the 05, which is more like it's actually a 0.45, so it's pretty large. And here's what I use usually in Copic. It's a 01, but it's actually a 0.25. If you read on the barrel, you'll see that it's actually a larger size than advertised on the pen itself. So this will be my go-to here to line tonight with. And then I might go over here and use the 5 or the 4.5 to do a little extra lining if I want some extra stuff. The 10 I probably won't use, honestly. So we'll throw it over there. But I might. So got these to play with tonight. And something different, since I don't have markers, I do have one thing I brought with me. And I had to buy a pencil sharpener for them. So I didn't have a pencil sharpener. And honestly, all this stuff I'm going to leave where I'm at. So it's not like I have to travel and buy stuff where I'm at. But I kind of want to leave some of this stuff up here. So I'm just trying to build a separate art kit on this other location I'm at. So cheap, simple, crappy pencil sharpener. It's really cheap. But it should do the job. Let's see. And let me show you what the main event's going to be. If I can get them out. I'm going to be using some of these, maybe. My plan is to. Small brushes. I have a set of these at the house. I like them. So I'm going to leave these up here. And I have, let me get them out here. I think I've maybe mentioned these in another video earlier. Oh, maybe several months ago. These are the Arteza watercolor pencil 72 set here. So this is a set I've been wanting to try for a while. So I'm going to use these to do all the coloring tonight. And then I'm going to try to blend them around and play with the watercolor effect with them. And I've never really done that, but maybe once or twice early when I worked on sketch cards. I've never really used them in production, production art. I'm going to try it. So these are nice. I can get them on camera here. I kind of adjust the camera for the sketch, but if you see here, you know, tray I got it here. 17. Should this be 2 trays? That's just 2. Oh, that's 3. So quite a large selection for me to play with here tonight. So I'll be rolling through these. Yeah. Yeah, I like MacGyver sketch art. Yeah, tonight, Patrick, I kind of feel that way. I started out with very little, the brush pens and these gas station Lotto pencils. I know I might even use these just for the fun of it, right? But I think I should run out and grab a few things today. And I've had these for at least 6 months. I need to use them. Been bad about not using them. So let's get started on the drawing. It's Bright Dwight. Get him drawn. He's kind of quick and simple. I think get to him and play with these a little bit. And maybe I'll draw something else too. I don't know. But first, I have another problem here. Is I could draw on paper. I could draw on this card, but I feel weird. I feel weird not having a sketch card, so I'm going to make some. I'm using my kid. He had a pencil kit up here. He had his little pencil bag, so in that he had some safety scissors when he was younger. So I measured this out. We're going to make my own little sketch card. And to be transparent with that too, I looked for sketch cards when I was out, and I did not find the brand or type or any actually that I expected to find. So I'm going to make some. This is just a watercolor paper, which I thought would be nice since I'm going to use watercolor pencils and put some moisture on that paper. I didn't want to use something that wouldn't absorb it right. So I'm making more sketch cards tonight. I'm going to have to cut some more, right? So yeah, safety scissors. Yeah. And while I'm here, I'll just line this one out too to make sure if I have one or the other one, I'll have it. We'll cut that later. All right, yeah, we'll do it now. So you're tuned in tonight to watch me cutting paper for sketch cards. Appreciate that. Patrick, I think you know what I'm talking about with the sketch cards. It's kind of hard to find a good quality stock sometimes. It's usually a little flimsy. This isn't too bad. This is almost like when you buy Bristol sketch cards. It's similar. It's not quite as sturdy. There's like a little sturdiness in the center here, but it'll do. It'll do. And the texture's really rigid, so that's I don't usually like that. Like a little smoother back. These aren't that way. But the sacrifices we make for working on watercolor tonight. Get some of these out. So we have them out. I want to have a little cup of water here. I made it out of a Pepsi Pepsi 16 ounce I had, so I put some water in one of those. It's the MacGyver stream. Yeah, we should call it that. Tantalizing. Yeah, I know. It's really good quality entertainment, right? All right, so those brushes in there. Got our trusty $1 pencil sharpener. Very nice, right? I got the blue one though. They had a smoke gray one. Got the blue one, so really happy about that. A win for me. I think we're done with the safety scissors. Thank you, my 5-year-old Logan when he was younger. Yeah. And let's see. Let's find this pencil, which I don't like. I'm really funny about pencils, so I'll tell you. The pencil I use to sketch with is one I've had since I was, I think, 16 or so. And I have a backup one and a few backups now, and I like using that model. It's a Zebra 401 or something like that. It's 401. Out of production, but this is a Bic Velocity. It's a Velocity model. So I picked this up at a local drugstore. So there you go. And the Pepsi, yeah, I'll probably see. I have a can over here, so I could use the can, but I used the cup, the bottle. So power up. All right. So Bright Dwight. Let's see here. Or glowing amber. Let's see if I can get this one over here. All right. I'm going to focus on the drawing and get me off camera for a minute. There we go. Hope everyone's having a good week. The week's over, but hope you had a good week. Just kind of try to go lighter on this guy. I really want to be more careful on these because this kind of paper, I don't know how it's going to erase. Let's just try erasing it. I don't know how it's going to erase. It erases pretty well. But deal with new papers, you never know how much the graphite's going to just stick and make a big mess. Ironically, I did pack a bag to. I always pack art supplies when I'm traveling, even if I don't use them, and often I don't. But I like traveling with something in case I decide I do want to use or make something. I'll probably fix this. This is not 100% where I want it, but just trying to get that more rounded here in a minute. There we go. I'm looking for my my eraser over here. I think, Logan, you moved my eraser earlier, didn't you? He was playing with an eraser I had. We'll use this one. We use the default uncivilized eraser. Look at that thing. I'm gonna rough it here. I like it. That's all right. I wonder if you guys have any sort of art supplies you're more fond of than others. I think a good artist can use whatever they find. Or a resourceful one, maybe not a good one. I don't know. Everybody can have their own preferences, I guess. All right, let's get the eye placement kind of in there. Done this one a few different ways over the years. Sometimes I start over here and use this side. Sometimes I start this side. Sometimes a lot of characters that start in the face area, start there and move out. I always want to leave enough space for this one to put that candle up here. It's got a candle up here, kind of effect. And, who knows what's going to happen with the watercolors. We're going to have to play with that. Let's see if I can maneuver something here. Zebra pencil? Yeah, I wonder where you got that from. No. Yeah. Yeah. I felt like the eyes are giving me trouble still. Oh, the eyes? Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, you just got to work with the eyes. Sometimes you'll be happy with them, sometimes you won't. You know, like this one. It's giving me a Castle Grayskull feel right now. I don't know why. It just kind of is. But I'm gonna, this one's eyes are kind of weird. They're angly more up. He's got this. He's looking upward like this because, one of them's looking that way, one of them's kind of looking. It's up and over sort of. So it's not looking this way or like that way, this way. This is a weird one since he's a skull. Try to give a little bit of room in the skull here to show something. And I may not get that tonight with what I've got here, but yeah, let's see. I want the pupil up here a little bit. I'm going to make him look kind of like up, like I was saying over here. Yeah. Well, I'll try to. Jeez, I say that and then I'm not doing it. All right. And again, I've said before, I like to line kind of hard with pencil, just to feel out the character, and that's not always a healthy thing to do. Makes a big mess, but I like a big mess of pencil. So it's not such a big deal to me. Let's, of course, get that out of there. Extend this one down a little bit. Down there. The small Tombow eraser I use a lot to do detail erasing is one of my favorite tools. And not having that tonight, I can feel that for sure. It's pretty funny. All right. Oh, you think it's just the Master Universe? Yeah, it has that feel. It does for a minute. All right, let's see if we can stretch these down a little bit. Let's see. Got one tooth over here, I think. I know I put one over here, but I'm just trying to extend that a little bit. Let's erase that a little bit. Let me see if I have a different eraser too. It's just irritating me to death. I don't think I do. I think Logan took my other eraser I had lying around. Yeah, you did. Where's the other eraser? You have the other eraser? I have this thing. This is pretty bad. See, it's not even like an eraser from when we grew up. It's like a Crayola eraser that's like a crayon. So it's just mocking. I can use the edge. I can use the edge like that. There we go. It's not terrible. All right, let's see. The little bottom jaw area here. Kind of loops around and goes underneath. And there's the tongue here. All right. This piece is a little off here. It's a lot off, actually. I didn't even notice that. Let's fix that. Something feels really weird with this character. Here we go. Let's get this right. There we go. There we go. Better, better, better. Let's see down here. Let's see what we can. Again, we might do a lot more with the inking stage, but draw that up a little bit. Did Logan, did you fail to find me the other eraser? You probably did, didn't you? You failed. That's okay. This will do. This will do. I just need something with a little, like an edge on it. Like a little more nib. Get in there and do like a little tighter erases like that. That's good. Let's fix this tooth. It doesn't look right either. Make it more square. All right. And I've been playing with this the whole time. Let's try to zero this in and get it right here. Shape it, make it a little better. Make it a little better shape. There's a lot of square spots in this. If you look on the actual original, there is some. I'm going to wrap around this part too. And I don't have a meeting eraser, so I can't remove a lot of extra carbon. So what I get's what I get there. And I think we're going to leave that alone for now. Come back for that. All right, head's shaping up okay. It's not the best one I've ever done, but it's all right. Put a little flat area back there and kind of come up around. Skull on this side looks decent. I should probably add a little bit more over here. I don't think I can pull it off now, though. Try to draw that back so I can bring this over a little bit more. There's a little bit more shadow I want to put right over here. That might be all right. I think we can make that passable. When I line that, I'll make it thinner. But it's coming together a little bit. It's coming together. All right, let's work on this over here a little bit. And up to here. I think the line weight's throwing me off on some of it. I'm getting the line weights wrong. And this should jut out a little bit here, then come back in. Down here. Draw this up and make that more angular. I made the teeth area very large down here. Just kind of doing my own thing tonight with it. I think that'll be fun. All right. Yeah, all right. Can live with that. All right, let's get the candle thing going. Then we can start playing with lining, and there's some color, I think. Shouldn't take too long. So it's decent. We can start. So jumping. We can jump off this one here. This is good. So the candle is a melty candle. It kind of goes to the top area. Kind of want to set my top area so that I can get that right. So just do an atom bomb of them. You just atom bomb, right? Kind of funny. It's not a half bad idea, really. Let's see, make sure I get it straight here. Get a little crazy with the lines and stuff, but let's see here. I want to do a thing here where I might thin this candle out so we can come down and show some of the melted pieces of wax, but put the wick right here, and then we can do sort of a little flame effect here. I don't want to get too crazy with it because I want to make sure I have enough room to come in here with the colored pencil and do some work. All right. All right. We'll stop with that. That should be pretty close. I want to change that a little bit. You know what? Let's do it a little differently. Yeah, let's do it like that. More melted stuff coming down here. Just going to add in some here or there, kind of do some little half areas here. There's a whole bunch of that pours out on the skull too. Let's see. Let somebody join here. Give me just a second here. Oh yeah. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, you're in the stream. What's in there?
I just saw the link. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm going to put you down there in the bottom corner. All right.
Sure.
I think I can do that. Can I put you up here? Oh, I think you're good down here. That'll be fun. I think that'll work. So yeah, you're live, man. Good to have you on. Thanks. Thanks for joining.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I went and talked to you. I talked to myself the entire time. I could invite some others, but I decided to keep it quiet tonight. I got enough problems here. So
pretty impressive with the limited resources.
Nah, it's not. It's not. One other thing too. Let's go ahead and get rid of this line, the skull line right here. Some optical illusions. Yeah, I made the bad mistake of traveling without a lot of stuff, and I had plans to do some artwork this weekend, and I didn't plan well. So. But I'm going to take this opportunity to get a little more familiar with this these other pencils. I think it's a good time to experiment. So he's got a lot of, there's actually in the original, there's a lot of different spots where there's a lot of wax flowing down on this. I'm going to do a couple here, not go overboard with it. I'm also getting a lot of, because the tooth on this paper is so grabby, I'm getting it's pulling a lot more of my graphite off my pencil than I would like. I would line a little easier than this, but it's not what I'm getting. So trying to keep that in mind as I work through this. Patrick, have you ever drawn this character?
Not yet.
He's an original series character.
I'm trying to think what prompt I could use. I'm almost caught up.
Which prompts are you working on?
I just threw something together for Bird. I did.
Is that the Inktober 52 prompts?
Yeah,
Or?
52 weeks.
Yeah.
Just did Bird, Brain, Brad. Just a small version.
Oh yeah, it's a good character. Yeah. Just marking some spots here where I want to remember to put some shading on, and helps me get a better visual what I'm doing. Sometimes I like to just put a little hatching on there. Just a touch, not really any great hatching, just a little bit. Hey, Bobby. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's coming together okay. It's kind of a rough one for me. It's bad sketch card, pencil I don't like that much. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with pencil. Anyway, boo hoo hoo. I got all these things I don't like. So, but all right, let's do some lining. I want to put some ink to this and make some final decisions. Let's do that. All right. So I'm going to go with what did I say? The 0.1, right? 0.1, which is actually a 0.25. So the micron 0.1, which looks like that. Let's do the 5 beside it. I'll probably get away with doing the 5. Yeah, and you know what? I always say that these are very similar to the Copics with me because I usually use the Copic SP multiliners, and they are. Logan's not laughing at me. He's over here watching a video or something. But this coming out kind of weak, kind of gray. I don't like that. Patrick, do you use these? You use these sometimes, don't you?
Yep. I use. You mentioned them earlier in the prompt, the 0.1, which is really 0.25 millimeter.
Yeah, I use this one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my go-to. And the one smaller, just below that, the 0.5.
Oh yeah.
I usually use those for small stuff like around the eyes.
Sure. It's a good one for that. These are just some standard arches. I actually made their eyes. His Dwight Bright's or Glow and Amber's eyes are a little less archy than the regular traditional characters, but I made them more archy, so they're a little more modern. Usually they're a little more oblong-y because their eyeball's sitting inside of a skull, so they look a little different. So I've got them looking a little more friendly tonight. I mean, it doesn't look friendly. It looks friendly before, but just a little different. I just felt like it. So yeah, I'm going to go over this again with another one. Pretty sure I'm going to close this gap up and make a decision here. And then we're going to line that one pretty hard. All right. Easy to line on this card. It just grabs the felt tip of these pens, just like the Copics pretty well, but I'm not loving how much it's putting down. I remember them being better than that. I think this one might suck. This is just not a good one. I don't know if you can see that. Patrick, look at this one in your, since you just talked about using it. I'm getting like a gray line out of that. I'm not even getting like a full black line. So it's almost like a pencil. Yeah, kind of weird. Did I buy the gray ones by accident or something? I don't think so. Let's see. Maybe. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? It'd be hilarious if I bought gray liners. All right. Let's see here. Give me just a second. Have I got you back, Patrick?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Do they make gray in those liners?
They do make a gray, I believe. Yeah. It's been a while since I bought some new ones. Let's take a look here. Boy, that'd be dumb if I bought the gray ones.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I did. I sure did about the cool grays. That's what a dummy. About
wow.
the cool gray liners. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, so we're gonna go cool gray on these. Man, I was in a hurry. To be fair, I'll be honest with everyone. When I was buying these, my blood sugar was low. It really was. I was really not well, and I picked them out quickly.
Well,
So, man,
I mean, I'm actually impressed you found them.
the
I mean,
rare ones, yeah, the
yeah.
rare. Well, it presents me with some challenges for sure tonight. On top of the other ones, but that's all right. We'll go with it. As long as it holds the lines when I erase this pencil, I'm happy. So
I got to get some more outliners, Copic outliners.
yeah, I mean, again, I do. These are really great when you buy the right color. Um, they're just disposable. That's the only drawback to them. You know, if that matters to you, it may not matter to you. You know, that may not matter to what you're doing, but um, the Copics I use have replaceable nibs, which I need to replace the one back home, and they have replaceable ink reservoirs too. So, and that again, that doesn't matter to everybody. So, okay. It's gonna be a long evening. All right. Thanks, Bobby. I'm glad it looks great. Hope you're doing well. You can top with any darker lines of black. Yeah, well, that's true. Bobby's right about that, and that's kind of what I'm saying too. Like, they are good for, you know, as long as they look close enough to still stick there while I erase the carbon, I'll be happy. I'm not using markers tonight, so it won't matter as much to me. I'm using colored pencils after this, but it might make the colored pencil with the watercolor effect kind of more muddled if I left too much carbon on there. I'm just going to go over a few more areas. It's a little harder for me to see where I was at when I stopped, so not impossible, but I think we're close to being done with that. A lot of work on the candle. It's fine. We'll come back and add some of that. Let's see what I do have. I do have a black liner that's water based. Like I said before, the Tombow here is very nice. This is a hard tipped brush pen that I can do lining with it like that, but it's not going to hold up to water very well. So I've got to kind of use that as my finishing touch, and I might do that because I kind of like an outline look. So, all right. Well, I'm going to start slowly erasing this a little bit and see what we've got.
Nervous.
All right, let's see what we got. Maybe donating these gray multi-liners to somebody. We'll see. I mean, I don't really need them.
I'll take them if you don't want them.
Oh, see if I. That might be on the list, man. Let's see. What pen, what eraser do I want to use? I gotta be careful. I move around here. I got water and stuff, so let's start with our pencil here. We'll see where I missed some lining. I'm gonna use the darker one, just the bigger lining. I think I can achieve what I want with this gray here. 1 second.
what you're doing right there with your eyes, around the eyes, with that, how's it going to affect when you go back with your, your white dot, to make it look? You said you wanted him looking up to the left. Is that right? Oh, okay. That's good.
Okay, sorry, I had to mute myself for a while. I'm in a camper style thing, so I have an air conditioner that kicks in. It's extremely loud, so not ideal for this situation. So trust me, I spared you of that. Anyway, I was just trying to choose some colors here, as we gotta erase all the good shading and junk that was there, and just have a line drawing sort of. And looking for some reds. Need something kind of light. I'm going to build up with some different reds. Also, remember, I might, we'll see how the watercolor effect works with these pencils. I don't know. I've never used them. And then let's see. There's another red here I had. Looks pretty similar. One's a little different. This is a little more orangey, burnt orangey, or orangey, not burnt orangey. This is a little more red. I don't know which one I'll use. We'll see. They're close, so close. I could use this one closer to the top, I guess. Anyway, I'll put those over there. And then I chose, I guess, this little kind of purple here, I guess. Purplish, pinkish kind of color. What colors it says? It says it's it's fuchsia. Okay, of course it's fuchsia.
For the cheeks.
Yeah. My thought is this is a little dark for them, but I'm gonna put that down there and then use the water to kind of thin it out. Maybe we'll play with that over on the paper first, and we might choose a different color. But and then two blues for the eyes here. One's a little bit lighter than the other one. One's a little darker. So I think I'll probably go with this one because I like that for the eyes. I might use this to do a little shading around the bottom of the eye or something like that. Anyway, and finally, because this one's a lot of gray and there's some black to it, I didn't grab any black. I might use a pen for that. There's two grays here. This gray and this gray. Probably can't tell on camera. It's hard to see. There's a slight difference here. One's a smoke gray, which is this one. And then there's a cloudy gray. And they're close. So they're numbered A006 and A008. So they're close in spectrum. And you probably saw me pulling them out of the tin. You can see. Hey, DK. Let's see here. Let's go with the lighter to start with. And we'll see. A little spot here. That'll be fine. Pretty happy with that. Get this over here. Okay, and we'll begin here, all right? So I'm going to try to just shade this the way I would normally. Then I'm going to use the water and the brushes to just blend it best I can. And this paper, again, is watercolor paper, so it's going to grab this pigment off these pencils very quickly and unforgivingly if I do it wrong. So I'll be sure paying attention to how I do this. And the other thing is I don't have any erasers to erase this kind of pencil. I just have standard erasers, so I don't have any sand erasers. I use them to remove ink and remove colored pencil if you need to. So something with some grit in it is typically what you want to use for that. And I don't have any, which is all right. So for those of you who just tuned in and checked things out, limited art supply, art gear tonight. I don't have any markers. Just have these colored pencils and some liners. Arteza, pretty well-known brand, I think. On the pretty cheap as well. They're American company. They're made in China though, so I don't know how American that makes them, but they make paints, they make markers, all kinds of stuff. And I've never used their stuff before, so I'll try it out tonight. think I was trying to find some domestically made pencils, and I ran across a few brands, and this is one, and I didn't know based on my research they were not manufactured, at least in North America. So, but I like several brands like Prismacolors, which are mainly made in Mexico now. I think they used to be made in the U.S., but they're made in Mexico. It's just fine. They're good pencils. They're a creamy pencil, creamier wax pencil. I haven't worked too much with their, or maybe not at all, with their watercolors. So I'm going to go over this again with a darker pencil. I just want to kind of set some zones here for me. For a few more spots. Let's get something darker. Let's see what we're going to do here. This looks like this is for black. So it's a little strong. And what else we got here? Let's see, it's just a purple. I think we'll get some darker grays. Hey DK, glad to see your Chrome 2 survived. In our last live stream, DK had a horrible accident with his cards and a beverage on his desk. He did the unthinkable. He gave his Chrome 2 collection a bath. So I'm glad that turned out okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Brown, no, don't want that. It's like maybe a darker gray. I think I tried some of these earlier. Pewter gray, promising, very promising. Let's try that. So here's a black. We might use that in a minute for the darkest regions. And here's a pewter. I'm trying to stay away from using that though. I think that'll be messy if I start using it with watercolor. So let's get that going here quickly. I think I might wrap this around through here. I know I didn't do that in the original drawing, but let's see if that looks. If I can just kind of wrap that around, and we'll make this a darker region through here. That'll be okay. If not, we'll fix it in a minute. Usually it's an open area, but I don't think I will this time. Then we'll play with the water here next and see if I can blend these two grays together and see what comes of them. I don't really know. This one's kind of moving around kind of weird on me. See, it's kind of smeared odd. But I like using a hard lead instead of a creamier lead usually. It's in a pencil. But that's just me. Nothing wrong with them. It's what you're used to and what you're comfortable with, right? So try to just swing that around there. Oh. Typically with pencils, I use different blending techniques too. Sometimes maybe not with these tonight, but use white pencils around different colors, or using a blending nub, like a piece of is a piece of paper that's pointed down. You can kind of rub with it, and you can use alcohol and rub together different pencil shades. But not tonight. I don't want to do too much up here. I want to keep this a little bit lighter up here. We'll come back with a liner and go up underneath that later and do some shadow. But I need to do something in here too. Let's see. Get real dark on the bottom here. All right. Hey, Jason. Good to have you on. All right, let's try a little bit of a watercolor effect here. I'm going to use this little sort of spade-looking brush. Try to apply like a little bit of water. Can kind of see how that dissolves that a little bit on the edge. Just kind of smooths out that line I had there that was kind of, getting away from me there a little bit. Yeah, can definitely see it kind of blends there. There we go. Got a good amount right there. That's good. I might move that. It's different. It's it has a feel of a I haven't used watercolors in quite a while, but it definitely has that different alcohol marker technique there. You just kind of swirl it around and blend it. I'll have to come back through here and lighten this up a little bit. That's fine.
Well, let me ask you a question. Like, does the same rule apply if you're using this? Can you go back over it with pencil color after you do this?
You can. It's a different rule because with markers, of course, you can't.
Right.
Typically what I do, I can't do that because the wax barrier would prevent you from getting the alcohol marker there. But this does give you that additional flexibility of keep layering and layering. And I'll try to blend in some white through here. I want to open this up with a little more light, I think. I'm not sure yet because the light's coming this way, so that makes a little sense. But I might darken this up through here, actually. But yeah, it's it kind of gives me another advantage here. I can keep layering this color until I get what I want instead of just kind of being stuck with where I was at. But again, with the markers, I would be at a different stage. I would use pencils on top of the markers to enhance the drawing a little bit more instead of just like doing some primary color like I'm doing now. So it's looking interesting. It's a long way to go, but if you want to do it this way, I can see it being entertaining and enjoyable. Same problem with it.
How thick is that paper you're using?
It's pretty thick. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's any thicker than Bristol, but it's very absorbent.
Okay.
It's like the Charmin of paper here. So it's pretty absorbent. I mean, this paper is not feeling wet when I'm done messing with it, So let me get this up here. Keep that edge there and try to push the colors to the edge. Very similar to what I do normally with your alcohols. So a lot of artists do. I mean, I technically do mixed media with the work I do, and this is commonly used with gel pens and used with alcohol markers and other things. I mean, or either water-based markers would be a lot smarter, but I wouldn't want to use alcohol and mix water with it. It would be a mess. But you could do it. So, I mean, let's come along. Let's get me some kind of shading effect there. I think I'll go over it again for sure with a pencil and then do this again. I was going to share next time I have a collection of sketch cards from other artists who have done trades with me in the past, and I was looking at one of them recently, and they used a blending of gel pens and watercolors on theirs as well. So I thought it'd be interesting to see that. Yeah, very cool. Kind of digging that. All right. Well, I should leave that tongue alone for now. So I'm going to go over that again with the pencil again and try to build up the areas I want darker and blend a little bit more. Let's see, Bobby, you said that comment looks great. I wanted to do some watercolor in a set I just working on, but wasn't sure if the card would buckle. Didn't want to risk it in the end, but I'll have to try it. You know, I have the same concerns typically on some card stocks. You know, tonight I've used one that I know this back, you can see no bleed through. It's not wet at all. No problem at all. You know, look at that. Didn't smear anything. So almost instant dry. And it doesn't feel wet. I mean, there's a little bit of tack to it right where I was at, but I was worried about that too. That's why I don't use watercolors on production card sets, because they vary in quality, and they vary in some of that being how they're sealed in the back and everything. So I just know that I'd probably get a little bit too much water on it or something, and it's more time intensive. So I mean, if I did a return card with watercolors, yeah, maybe. But it's not my go-to. But I gotta tell you, this is kind of fun. I'm kind of enjoying this. So let's go over this again. Make sure I don't hit a zone. I just realized I don't want to hit a zone that I've just hit with water. I want to make sure it's dried thoroughly.
What color is that you're using right there?
Back to the pewter. This is the pewter, the darker gray that I used. Here it is, right here. And here is the color I used earlier, the cloudy gray. Used the cloudy gray. I think I did. I don't think I used the smoke. I could be wrong. Though I can check the video, but I might have used the smoke. These two were extremely close. This one's looks like a little bit lighter. Yeah, it's 06, and the other was 08. So they're real close for me when I'm working. As when I blend them, they seem the same. So I could blend that in. I will say you want to be careful with getting these in there when they're still wet. You can feel resistance in there. I was over there for a minute. I could feel. I didn't want to rip the paper. Let's see here.
Bobby B, do you ever sleep, my friend?
Bobby B's a robot. He doesn't have to sleep. He's an android. He just draws and sculpts. A fantastic robotic artist. I mean, he's purely animatronic, I think, right? Right, Bobby? Bobby, you should check his channel out, guys. It's Bobby B here on YouTube. He's got incredible videos, and they're releasing tons of them with the new Bookworm set. Looking forward to seeing your next one, Bobby. I looked at one today. It's very good. Let's see. I know what you're saying, though, Patrick. He does not seem to ever slow down, so it's impressive, Bobby.
Very impressive.
I'm gonna do something with the tooth here.
But I will say, once you get in the groove, it's hard to stop. I'm slowly getting there. It's like last couple of nights, I just keep going. So
yeah, that's great. That's great. That's the key. They say, draw every day, and that's so cliche, but it's true. If you draw every day, you'll get a little bit better or discover something new. You'll enjoy it more. I'm just lining this now because it helps me get a little more visual on it. I feel like that gray line it draws me down. I'm telling you. I like it to be a nice bold line. I like bold lines. I'm more of a comic style.
I'm curious, what drugstore did you get those at?
I bought these at Hobby Lobby.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I bought the pencil. I bought the mechanical pencil at a drugstore. I was there anyway to do a pickup. So. Let's see. Might go in there and do some of the darker lining in a minute. All right. Yeah, let's do this too right here. Don't want to neglect my ink here. Oh, you're gonna look for a set? I thought you wanted a set. Here they are, right here. Probably gonna give them to you, actually. So, like the cursed grade liner set I used. Yeah, that's all right. They're actually not bad. They're actually pretty good.
I'm sure you'll find use for them.
I don't know. We'll see. Sure. I wonder if I should go up a little higher up in there. Let's see. Let's just color with the pencil. Let's see. Yeah, kind of like that. Again, I usually leave this open and white, but I'm not going to this time. I think I'm going to color it. All right. What else do I want to hit real fast? Right there. Right through here. The eyes, he's got like a little spot through here. Almost like a unibrow. Let's add like a little line here. It's darker. Where's the black? I'm gonna do it. Let's go to the black pencil. Yeah, let's do it. I just still crave contrast, and that's one thing I don't like about watercolors personally is they're not as, I think they don't provide as much saturation, and they're a little washed out a lot of times, obviously because there's water. But nothing wrong with them. I like my drawings have a little more punch to them. Typically. But they should not be underestimated. All right, let's blend that around. It's going to get messy here in a minute if I don't. So let's blend that and see what I get out of it. All right. See if that adds anything to it or if it just kind of muddles it up more. All right. Whew. Cuts right through it. Look at that. Let's just push that color in the corner and leave it. All right.
Now, are you using a different stroke if you're using a Copic?
Sometimes I am like right there. I'm not right here where I'm going back and forth, just brushing around, trying to spread that color around a little bit. When I'm trying to push it away, it's kind of the similar because I'm using, the Copics have that brush tip on them, so I'm using a brush technique. But some of these, like that right there, I got this pocket of, I want it to be dark down in there, so I'm gonna kind of Copic like look like Copics like push the ink down in there, and I'm doing the same. I want to try to just feather it out at the top here so I don't make a big impact on that. So, and I still might go over that with a pencil again. I just feel like I could do more of the pencil without water on it. So down here, I want to come down here and make these lines a little more defined here around the edge of the skull here.
I got a question about your last production set. Percentage-wise, how much pencil do you think you used in those? Or was it, I know you did mostly grayscale for time's sake, but did you use it?
In Bookworms, yeah. In Vacation, which will be out hopefully soon since we're having some drama with that, but I think that will be out very soon. I did quite a lot of pencil on that. So I don't remember the actual ratio, but a lot more. Yeah, right like that. This looks very messy through here, so I think I'm going to use a white pencil and see if we can lighten it out some. Might just leave some of this. Yeah, even with the gray ones, you can pop in there with the gray pencil and give a little more to it. So there was some in there. I don't remember how much. Um, Again, too, with pencils, I use that more in returns if I have a lot of time and I have uh, a lot of I've done most of the cards. I will pop in there and do a little more pencil work here and there on ones and packs and things. It just takes more time. Pencils just always adds more time to do whatever I'm working on. So if I've made it to a pencil, I'm doing it because I'm trying to get an effect I have not achieved with the markers. So because those production sets are quick. You have to get them out. There's a timer on you. There's not a timer like tonight. There's no timer. I'm playing around with it here, just trying to see what I can do. So I'll spend more time with it. But again, sketch cards, they're faster sometimes. They're a faster product, and they can be imperfect too. They can be a little rough sometimes. It's part of the beauty of it. All right, it's getting a little darker. Let me see what I can do with a white pencil and lighten up some areas I don't like. Typical thing, or blend it around. I have not used their white quartz. Okay, let's see what I can do. Let's see. So I'm going to come down from the top a little bit. If I can just soften the edges, I'd be happy. On some of these.
Are you getting any resistance where you had watercolor?
No. Most of the spots I just hit right there were dry.
Okay.
Try to go to a spot where there's still a lot of swirl there. A lot of swirl. And I'm going to get a gray effect if I'm not too careful. I'm getting a little bit of that, but
yeah. I like the shadow.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not what I was going for, but it'll work. It'll work. Basically, I'm painting with dirt, so that's dark colors here. I'm more excited to get some colors. We're going to do some different colors on here. We might even play with some colors when we do some of the lighting. I'm kind of more excited to get to the reds and see what we can do. Now I'm just trying to blend this around these spots where there's a little bit of gray and a lot of white. See if we can make it look more interesting. I still haven't done any hatching, and I can do some more lines around certain areas and make it look a little different too. So, almost turn this line into one of those more interesting lines. Yeah. I mean, this pencil is not as effective as the white pencil I usually have. So yeah, it's not doing what I would expect it to do. So it's not, to me, a very good white pencil. I've experienced that with the pencils that are watercolor pencils that are white. They're usually what I would consider a weaker pencil. But it's okay. It's okay for this, and I'm a little hesitant to put any water on that. I'm not even sure what that would do. It's really more of a blending pencil. I mean, look at that. It's just kind of smoothing that out a little bit. It's not even. I mean, that's what I would expect. I would expect it to turn white, but it has its limits. So, but maybe if I put water on top of that, it'll blend even better. Maybe we'll just try that. See what happens. Like around here, we'll just give it a shot. Let's try it over in here and see what we get, just for fun, just to kind of experiment. Let's see. Grab another one of these. It's a little bit smaller of a speeder brush here. I mean, it kind of moves it around funky, but I'll work with that. Just gonna kind of spin it in the areas I want to lighten up some. Get that pigment away from the lighter area. It's not terrible. It did like on this cheek, it did a better job. Let's try it down here. Let's put some more water and just push it. So there we go. That's better. I like that. Do the same right here. I want to let's see. I'm gonna lighten right here a little bit. I can kind of just push that line down there. Again, I think like Bobby was saying earlier, he was concerned about how much, the card would buckle. I don't think I could have done what I just did on a regular card at all. I'm putting a lot of water right there. I almost want to like rub that off. There we go. I can kind of do that. But you don't want too much, so I just kind of jack that up. Plenty of pencil still on there though. There we go. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's as much as you want to play with it. If you were really skilled with watercolors, you could probably, and I'm not, you could probably do some pretty nice things there. I'd like to, again, lighten that up. Just push that down and away. Yeah. Pretty effective right there.
Good question, Bobby.
So curiously, what happens if you dip a very tip of the white in water, ready to lay down more? Oh, you want to try that? Yeah, sure. Sure, we can try that. That's a very good question. Let's try it over here. I'll dip it again, and we'll put it against like right over here. It gives you an effect. I don't know how controllable that would be though, and you see it kind of would blend with whatever color you're near. Just like it would be if it's dry, it's going to blend with those different colors. So, I think you get a moment where it might help out a little bit. That's not terrible right there, right? It's not a bad idea. But it helps you kind of push it around. It's like pushing it around without the brush. It feels like very slimy, though. It's a very slimy effect.
Oh, I like that, though. Yeah.
It does look good, though. It's a good. I mean, it's lightening. It's lightening that quite a lot. I'm running dry over here, obviously. It's not bad. I think it destroyed some of my shading over there, but it's okay. Go back over it.
Probably going to go back and look at the difference of, like at this point when you started doing that versus, where you had the shading.
Yeah, it definitely lets you lighten an area up pretty effectively and lets me use kind of my pencil moves, but I don't think it's for every application. I can definitely tell it's just making it gray through those areas, like a lighter gray, obviously. But that might be okay because I can go back over with one of the darker grays and maybe do more what I want. Try to soften that edge over there. It's not bad. It's not bad. And again, that paper can take it. This paper can take it. I don't think a regular could do that. It does feel really slimy over there.
Start making your own sketch cards.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean it's not how that works. Speaking of that, that's a good thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Thanks, Bob. It's a good suggestion right there, right? It's good. So we're learning about this together. I know you want to try it. Go for it. Bobby will be having a video up next week about this, or maybe tonight. If he's quick. Speaking of making my own sketch cards, I did finalize a design today to make my own sketch cards. So I'm going to be getting those out next week and hopefully get some finals back soon. So yeah, that's not bad. I think I do want to come through here and do some more, texturing and putting some stuff back in, but it's interesting what that does, right? Looks cool. Yeah, so let's get that pewter back. And dare say I do the same thing with the pewter. It's a cloud gray. Let's not use that. Here, pure gray. I want to come back and do a few things with this. Yeah, Bobby, I need to talk to you about. I know you ordered some cards and had some cards produced recently. I want to see what your experiences were like recently. I have talked to the same vendor before, but I wanted to see what you think. So that's kind of weird the way that's working. I've got so much color down right here, and I've layered so much of that white down. It's definitely like a different blending surface right there because it's so waxy. Um, it's not unpleasant. It's kind of nice, but it is definitely challenging to work in there. So I'd say once you do that with a pencil, like a white pencil through there, you have to be kind of ready to know your limits are starting to being reached with the paper. In fact, I can feel the tooth is gone because I filled it all up with wax and watercolor. So, but I can live with that. It's okay. I usually would keep this skull lighter, but this time we're not going to.
So how many times have you drawn this character?
I don't know. Several.
Hmm.
I put this character probably in almost every set I've done with GPK, so it's like 9, 10 sets. I remember, but it's I've done it for other things too, like one-offs here and there. It's an easy character to do. I think it's a good one to kind of play around with and practice with. It's a little unique in other ways too, though. So it's not like all of them. There's a few skull characters, and this is one of them. So skull characters, I'll say. Yeah, I dig the pencil. I dig using pencils on drawings. I don't really do colored pencil drawings for GPK or sketch cards, but just because of speed and time wise, I think it's one of those. I probably should do some. I have done some just graphite drawing ones before. And I feel like the best ones do contain pencil. So, like, what I'll call juicing those alcohol drawings with this. All right, I think we've played around with that enough. One thing too is as much as I've worked on that, it's really this paper is thinner, but it's also more absorbent. I've also pressed pretty hard on that. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I've put a lot of I embossed this almost in there drawing. So
You got your shadow back, yeah.
what was that?
I said it seemed like you got your shadow back before you did the
Yeah,
white.
by just doing some basic pencil work, I got that way I
Sure.
wanted it, and going to use this black and kind of hit my darker areas. I don't think I could use my Tombow liner over there and do it. It'd hit the wax and blow apart, I think. So I'm just gonna do a little black line over here. Nothing big. Careful over there. Maybe a touch in here. Not much. All right, let's see. I'm gonna use the Tombow in there in a minute. I'm gonna do the pupils last because let's do the blue first. Which blue did we say? This blue? We said this blue. All right. Pretty simple. I'm not going to even use a watercolor on that, I don't think. Can't think of a reason why, but let's just do it. We're here. Let's play with it and see what it does.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably make a big mess and get in the white, and he'll have a bad night here. I'd like to just lighten one side of the iris with it a little bit, like that. If you can see that in the camera, but I've sucked a lot of the blue off. I can pull it over here in the pupil and not care. I mean, it's subtle, but you can see it. Right in person, you can see it. And I'll pull a little back over here, just like I would do if I was using almost like Copic has just a 0 that puts down alcohol, and you can pretty much pull back or move around ink as well, and that has a similar effect. So I've sort of lightened the top area right here. Yeah, if you can tell that. I might use this darker pencil below it on this bottom side just to accent that even more. There we go. If I can kind of get in there. It's not sharpened enough, and I probably need to sharpen it. But... All right. Kind of neat. I'm going to call that that. I'm going to use this little Tombow black marker here. It's my little liner here. All right. And let's use the Jelly Roll to 08. Just want to get the people in there and the little dot of light here. These jelly rolls, when you first get them, you got to spin them around a little bit and get the gel flowing on the pen. That sounds weird, but it's true. So you can kind of see. I try to use it on a darker color. Usually I have a piece of marker I can use it on. I don't tonight, but I can kind of show you there. See, it's coming. There it is. Anyway, let's see if we can get like a little bit of it on there.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't work out, you can go back over it. I have a little trouble with this new pen, so it's not behaving 100%, but that's not bad. That's not bad. So it's gonna work. I'll work around the eye socket here a little bit later. I think I could do a little bit now. This is a Pentec brush pen. It's water-based.
Wow.
A lot of comic artists use this. I just picked it up. I meant to pick up another pen, but these are like quite dangerous sometimes. I'll probably switch over to the other one, but they're good for doing an inking of a drawing. Hair, they're really good for anything you need a sort of a nice little swishy mark for. I want to practice with these two. I don't love them. I'm not a fan of them 100%, but I know they have a pretty nice use. I like a hard tipped liner better. It gives me more control. So, but again, that's my preference, and there's nothing wrong with those. I'm going to fill in the back end of this thing just black and see how it looks. I'm going to leave a little bit undone behind it, I think, until I decide I don't like it. See what that looks over there. Remember, there's a little wax in there too. I've been playing around with this area, and I've got a mixture of stuff in there, so you have to be careful. I kind of like that. This one over here, I mean, it's okay. I might come in here with that white pencil and see what I can do. Where'd it go? Here it is. Thinking it's like my other white pencil, so let me sharpen it a little bit. It's got kind of messy after I put the water to it. All right, well, that's like mega sharp. That's probably too sharp. Let's see here. Yeah, kind of like that. It's subtle, but it's there. And let's go over that edge of that eyeball one more time. It's a little bit messy on this side. That doesn't look good. They need to be as close to perfect as you can make them.
Is that marker from Japan?
Yes, it is a Japanese marker. Yeah, this is a Tombow. I can put a link for it in the bottom of the video when we're done. Let's see. It is a. You can see that on the video there. I have a model for it somewhere. I've sent this to a few people.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's a Japanese pen, brush pen, and there's the WSBH. I don't think that's the full model number there, but I'll put a link to this. I got this off Amazon. This is was made in Vietnam for Japanese. Sorry, but yeah, I'll put a link to that in the video description below after we're done, because this is a really awesome pen. If you want to, I use it to highlight under things after I'm done. Usually in my normal drawings, like if I want to add more line weight under something, this thing is just a really pleasant pen to use. And I could use other pens, but I got stuff on it that time too. Be careful not to get stuff on it. But I think there was some actual pencil through that area, that zone right there. But yeah, it's a nice. You can go super thin with it, lines, or you can go thicker lines. So like that, and it bounces back better than a thin brush pen like this one, which has its purpose. It's just for this one, it's a little hard to control for something like that.
While you have it in your hand, did you get that at Hobby Lobby?
No, I've had this.
Oh,
I've had this for a long
okay.
time. This is a Pentel.
Intel.
This is the GFKP. I can put a link for this too. This is a very good one. I like this one too because it's refillable. The cartridges in it, once it goes out, you can remove the bottom section and replace the cartridge. So this is not a throwaway pen unless you damage the tip. So if you're doing a lot of comic inking, this is a nice pen to have.
Okay.
It is water based though. So let's see here. There's one thing here I don't. Let's see. I'm gonna reach back out to my gel pen and see if I can do this. I want a little more eyeball right there. Yeah. Now it's a little gray looking to me here, but that's actually all right for me. I can live with that. I wanted that to be a little thicker through there. And I can add some gray in over here as well to make it kind of match. And I think the eye has a little bit of gray in it too on the bottom anyway. Typically, the drawing does. So we'll add a little bit of this smoke gray underneath here. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's move on to maybe the tongue. When I say that, I see something I want to fix. Hold on a second. I want to enhance at least. These lines in here that got kind of buried in wax. Sort of try to pull them back out, but gently, very gently.
Is this more of a finish pen you're using right now?
It is, and it's fairly unwise to use it this way, I think, but because of the wax, I don't want to ruin it, but I also have limited amount of resources.
Yeah.
So
that's something I refuse to do, risk it.
Well, the thing is, if you get wax or some nasty crap on your pen, you can just be aware of it and clean your pen off, rotate the tip around here on a piece of paper and just try to get that off there. Get it.
Oh, okay.
Depending on what type it is, get a tissue or something. I've saved many multi-liners that way. Sometimes I go over something that's I might run through the gel pen or something somewhere, or you accidentally do hit it sometimes. It's all right. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a look at this too. Try to hit that for a second. Just a tiny little bit of gel through there. That gives it a total different look. Make this tooth shine a little bit more too. All right. We did talk about the cheeks a little bit. Just put them on there and see how they look. They might be just fine because there's so much wax right here. It's going to just kind of be easy to blend that over there on there. And it was. I could add more color to that, but we'll see.
Is that the lightest one you got right there?
No,
Lightest?
there are lighter pencils in the set,
Okay.
but there's darker ones too, kind of somewhere in the middle. This is again the fuchsia. Yeah, A404. I don't know a lot about their schemes, their color schemes, but or numbering, lettering. All right. Can stop with that for right now. I'm very interested to see what it would be to hit that with a tad of water. See what it does. I don't want to do too much. I feel like I have to go back over it. Yeah, see, I think that's gonna just thin it out if I do that. But let's try that again. While it's wet, we'll hit this with this pencil again. Yeah, I mean it's an okay effect. It's okay, I can live with that. All right, I'm gonna go to let's work on the candle now. I think we got the tongue, don't we? Let's talk about the tongue then. Let's see if we can find a pink. What we got here? It's like a flamingo pink. That seems a little bit. That might work. And then here is a plum purple. All right. Okay, we'll play with those two. I think we can work with that. If we want to do a two-tone on the tongue, do that. Let's see. I'll start with the light. Just do kind of a little base in there. And then we'll come over and do some darker grading area with the other color. Real basic. And try to keep this to this one side. And to the edge by the mouth here. I'll try to let the light come kind of that way.
Did you pick these up tonight, or have you had these?
I've had these for a little while. I grabbed them off. I think I grabbed them off an Amazon sale many months ago. Use a smaller brush here and just try to pull a little more of that ink away from there and make it have more of an effect where the light's hitting this. Ooh, a lot of water there. Now, one thing I don't have is any tissues, so let me grab another brush, which is a terrible idea when you use watercolors. Let's just get that out of there. We'll do it over.
Looks pretty good.
What I was going for? I'm going to use that.
Well, I don't know. It looks good from here.
There we go. That'll be okay. All right, let's get to the red up here. Let's play with this candle up here. Get this going. Kind of a darker red, kind of a burnt red.
It's going to be like atom bomb colors.
Very similar. Yeah, I think the candle is. I don't know how much of a grading I'll be able to do on the candle because it gets, it's darker through here. It gets lighter as you get to the light source. And then around it, up here will be some orange and then some yellow. Well, yellow up in here and then some orange as you go out. And I don't know how well that's going to blend, honestly. We'll see. But I'm going to just go in here and add a little bit of red. I might go a little less heavy-handed on this part as I did down here and just see what I can do with the brush and pulling that red around. Let's just see.
This is
going very light on that.
When you get back home, I would like to maybe see you spray the sides when you get back home. Look pretty cool.
Yeah, so usually with this one, I'll do an airbrush around here. I'll do airbrush shots around it because the background of this card is black. Usually it's black. It's purple down here with some trading cards down here. I don't usually draw the trading cards, but it's GPK trading cards on the bottom underneath, and then this is all black, and then it sort of opens up here. It's very similar to the atom bomb card where it's black around this part of the drawing, and then it's red and orange, and I use an airbrush to spray around the edges, but I'm just going to go real light on this one. You can see the texturing that the paper has. Like it's just grabbing just a little bit of this pencil on it. And I'm going to use the watercolor brush and just the brush over here with the water and just try to drag that color around and see what it looks like. Then I'll do another layer of it. So that's pretty light right there. Intentionally. But let's go back to this spade thing again. That's it might be too much. We'll see. This might be too big of a brush for this. I don't know. I think I can make it work. Definitely know I can probably smooth these out pretty easily. On this top area, I want to try to build up the colors by just putting layers and doing a little bit of this. Instead of, down here was a more what I would traditionally try to do with pencils and markers, and it's just that it doesn't quite go one-to-one. So up here, it's interesting. I'm going to leave some of that alone up there because I'm going to use a different color up there, I think, in a little bit. Might go up there with some yellow and try to blend some yellow up in here because of the light source here. That's interesting. It's not bad. All right. Let's go for a darker red before I get up there. So this is the, right, let's see. Make sure I grab the right one. It's a little darker. Let's see what else I got first before we get too involved with that. Sure, everyone's already went to bed at this point. Bobby, you awake? Patrick's
He's
awake.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he might be. Okay, here's this is the magenta, so usually it's pretty dark. Let's hold that out. That's a pretty good one. Let's grab a yellow. Might be too light, but I'll try it anyway.
Oh my goodness.
I'm here. That's right. Bobby's a trooper, man. He's always around.
Actually, that's a prompt I got to draw for in a couple of days. Robot. I'm going to draw Bobby B as a GPK character or something.
Mm-hmm. Give me just 1 second, guys. What's going on out there? I'm muted. What's going on?
I still have that set of pencil colors that you sent me, like, a while back. Like, it's like 180 colors, 120 colors.
Sorry. Yeah, thanks for you. It was a test set, wasn't it? A test set of pencils.
It was. I mean,
yeah.
To be honest, my son only gets more tests than I do out of it.
Well, that's okay. Well, if someone gets it.
Yeah. He'll do his schoolwork stuff in those pencils.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. He gets to use them. Yeah, I forgot where I got this from. That was a kind of in the same vein as these. I was gonna get a bunch of pencils to test out because I'm always looking for better equipment and tools and art materials and stuff. And I don't recall. I think those were really cheap pencils, and I just was curious. It's always an art debate whether inexpensive pencils are worth it, right? Because people always wonder, and a lot of the times it just depends. Some of the set's good, some of it's not. Some of the effects it looks good, but it doesn't have what's called light fast on them, so they don't last when they're exposed to UV light or just light in general. It would different quality on them. I think these have if you even look on these have a light fast rating on them. Here's a +3. And on the back, you'll see, I think there's a, we might see it before I do on the camera, but maybe it's not in here, but there's that has a certain rating on it. 3's good, 2's bad, that kind of thing. I don't recall, I don't see it on the back, but on their website for sure it's on there. And I've worked with the pencils that have light fast ratings, and I don't see it in here, but I swore it's on the back. But at any rate, that's what that means. These different different amounts on there. So like, here's one that's really light, fast, strong. This one here, this coral or coral. How do you say it? It's kind of, was it 5? Yeah. So it's a little stronger against light damage essentially. So, and you don't see these kind of ratings on cheaper pencils, and they fade over time, so they don't have the longevity. Even if they look good, they may not last as long. But it just depends what you're working on. If that matters to you, that may not really matter. And I don't think people should spend a fortune on pencils.
You know, you guys that do production sets, 3-4 times a year. I mean, I know you guys are particular in your tools, but that pencil set right there, you think it'll get you through a set, 2 sets, 3 sets?
Probably, yeah, up to 3 sets, I'd say, for easily. Maybe even more. It depends how much you use the pencil. For me, what I do, I mean, I'm using them to enhance a drawing, not primarily to draw with. So, pencils last a while. I mean, so I guess I was thinking about the white pencils I have. I have several I've used. I've burned up probably 2 or 3 over the past 4 years. But that's just using them to accent or highlight things. I'm not using them to draw with. So if I were using them to draw with all the time, more heavily, I mean, you could see I might use 8, 10 pencils. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I just don't use them enough to be able to answer it thoroughly, really. Yeah. Now this one here, I might have to add some more water to and move stuff around a little bit more. I think I'm gonna lighten
Are you going to
this
throw any orange up there on that red, or are you going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try to, yeah. But again, I'm just playing around with this up here. I'm gonna push this red further down if I can. I was trying to lighten this area over here a little bit with the water here.
Bobby, that's a good point. Ricky gave me a test set to use back in, what was it, October,
Yeah.
2021. It seems like it lasted longer if you kept them sharp.
It also depends on the brand you use too, as far as what style, because like Prismacolors are real waxy and smooth and creamy, and you sharpen them a lot, you burn through them faster. The set I use is that Urban Artist, and it's a harder lead. It's a much harder lead, and the binder's harder on it, so it lasts longer. It's more muted, those tones, but so I don't sharpen as much. I don't have to sharpen as much. I'm not trying to get a point on them to draw with or do detail work. I use pens and multi-liners. So if I was doing sharp detail drawing with it, I would have to sharpen a lot more, That's for definitely sure. Bobby's got a good point there. Bobby uses a lot of pencils in his drawings. I know that he uses he does like a lot of enhancements with the pencils on them as well. So I think they're him and I do something similar there, but I don't know how many the GPK artists use pencil. I mean, there's several, but I wouldn't say it's predominantly pencil.
Well, since you mentioned it, your top level GPK artists, like, do they use similar?
So I think what you're saying, the finishing artists, the guys who do like Joseph Co. and Joe McWilliams, Red Instrument, and David Gross, those guys, and others as well. They're doing paintings, so they do a color rough in pencil sometimes. or they'll do a color. They'll do a quick sketch sometimes, and they might do a color rough. And in the past, they've done color roughs. Even the classic artists have done those. And like those can be in pencil, quite honestly. It can be very rough. And then they'll use different types of paints. They'll use acrylics. They'll use gouache acrylics. A few of them use oil paints, like Warhol. He's done, and I think Bunk did a little bit that way in oil. I think Bunk moved over to doing acrylic later on, but it's just a little faster because it dries faster, But yeah, I mean, it's a mixture of stuff, But again, like I said, I do. It's kind of a mixed media, Yeah.
So is this the first time you use this in a drawing, watercolors?
That's the first time I've used these watercolors.
Okay.
Yeah. I've used, I think, Faber-Castells. I think I've used a few other brands to play with stuff in drawings, but I haven't used this particular brand. Let's see this crimson red. Let's use a little bit of this. I think we're just playing around down here. Don't feel like these are overly sharpened out of the box either. I think I need to probably add a point on a few of them. I'm going to sharpen this one as I complain about it. Over sharpened a little bit there. That's all right. Let me get down here in these spots in here. Oh, look at that. Broke one.
Oh.
Which is funny because I use a mechanical pencil and I'm pretty careful. But different strength of lead. All right, let's see. Let's come up here with this yellow here. Play with this. Yeah, that's where I miss my markers. I could do more with that.
Are you going to throw watercolor on that too?
Yeah, I'll try to blend between the different shades when I do different shades. This is just a base layer for this yellow here. Yeah, I wish I'd done more base layering up here with this. I could kind of push down that red more, a little like that. I was trying to add the red in more up here so I can just like do what I'm showing right here. I was push that down some more so I can show a little more contrast. But yeah, we'll see. It might, it doesn't look bad. It's okay. I need some more bold lines. I don't like I'll fix this line here and some other stuff. I need to, again, I want it to pop a little bit more.
Now, will you go back with your finishing pen and do to make that pop on the edge?
Yeah. While I'm doing this, I kind of want to make that break out a little looser there. There we go. And let's see. Rose red. I'm kind of careful with this one. So it kind of goes real red at the top and circles down. And with so much yellow already there, it should come out kind of orangish. There we go. Yep, like that. Not bad. Now, let's see what I got here. I can kind of. I'm not too worried about where this ends up because it's going to get kind of blended into a different color. I don't really care if it's uniform that much. All right, let's do a red layer too. This is so I went from that coral color, orangish color, and go to this rose red again. Use that back here. Oops, bend the card. And behind here, what could be a darker color. I haven't decided if we'll do a darker shade through here or not. I don't think we're going to airbrush this one, Patrick. I think this should just be all watercolor.
Okay.
But I know what you mean. I like the airbrushing too a lot. It's kind of my thing. But tonight we're doing something a little different. I guess I could use airbrush paint on it. I could do some of that. But I'm having a good time with that. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this and see how this looks like. I think it's going to turn out nicely. So back to my brushes here. Thank you in the chat for staying alive tonight. Don't do a lot of Friday streams, but
Well, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
It's a good break from last couple of nights. I've been working on this cover you gave me. Just dynamite.
Oh yeah, you've been working on a comic cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I need some darker colors back in here. This is pretty blends well, but it's also really like one of my complaints about watercolors washed out. I know, ironic, right? Since it's water, but it gives it kind of a wash look here. I use some darker shades clearly, but I can blend them in here. It's fun. What I don't want to do is ruin that that yellow I have going on there. So I'm going to leave that alone. I might come in here and use a little bit of this to darken that. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but I want something a little darker back here. So let's find something. All right. It's a little different. Just a 37-hour drawing here. Maybe we'll just go. Just use the other one harder. What we got left over here? I have a couple. I didn't use the darkest red I had. I didn't intend to, but so we used the rose red already, which is a A205. All right. So there's A207. So crimson red obviously should be darker, and I think so should be the magenta. So I'll step up to the crimson red, and then we'll play with the magenta. We'll do just the same kind of thing. Just kind of overlap what happened here. Try to pull that color up into the this zone up here a little bit more. And I probably will do the same with the magenta behind that as well. So just blending. All right. Give that a wave there. Again, this paper just eats up that. That's another thing too with how often do you use them, Patrick, is like, this paper is eating up a lot more with the pencil than normal. So that I would normally experience. More than Bristol or other card stocks. So all right, let's hit that with some. Well, let's do the magenta too. Let's see. So that is the magenta to make sure. Yep. Let's hit that behind that. Oop. It's funny that shot across the room. That little clip at the tip of that came off. So pressing pretty hard with this stuff. Just call the whole card. It'll be fun. Let's go on the edge here and do that. Fine. I want to get it reasonably even, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Not sure what I'll do down here yet. We'll figure that out later. Maybe we'll go home and airbrush it. No, I'm kidding. Just said I would. I'm going to go against my stroke there because I want to fill those holes in. I know I'm just kind of doing that, but we'll go back over it again there. Okay. We'll come down a little bit more. Then I'm going to blend them a little bit and see what they turn out. I mean, it's not necessary 100%, but I think it would look better if it's blended. I'd be happier. So let's try to blend that. All right. Interesting. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, Bobby, you're still awake, right?
Wow, the sun's coming up over there. Goodness.
Yeah. Bobby's already making breakfast.
Mm.
Gonna try to mimic the same movements I had with the pencil a little bit, just so I don't destroy any of the light beam effect I'm trying to create. Keyword is try not to.
Bobby, what's for breakfast?
Yeah. We should cut to a video of him in the kitchen working on pancakes and whatever he's working on. I don't know. I really like that down there. But washout behind it.
That looks pretty good. I like it.
This washout behind here. And I can come in with a different color and shape that if I don't like that. Kind of dig that. Yeah. With Bobby. Oh, he's just laughing. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm losing my vision here. I can't see what's going on. Like, what's that icon? It looked like a world or something for a minute. And I don't know. It's not. I don't know why I would think that. But
What? This
I
is
don't
totally
know.
random, but what is a King James breakfast? Is that like your
King
version of
James breakfast. I don't know what a King
King
James, but I
James
know what an
breakfast?
English
You
breakfast is. But
ever heard of that?
I have heard of it. I'm drawing a blank on it. But I
Um,
have heard of that. Yeah.
is it our version of like a biscuit or
I
sausage
don't.
biscuit or
I
something?
don't remember, Bobby. If you remember, if you can enlighten us on that, if you're aware that's a thing, I think
May
that's a
not be a
thing.
thing.
It
I don't
may
know
be
where I'm
something
getting
we
that
think's a
from.
thing. Yeah. Hmm. Very atom bombish, isn't it? It's got that pink coming down through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very atom bombish.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think I got that reference from The Office.
Oh, I've heard it
I'm
before.
pretty
It might be TV related. It might not. I
sure.
can't
Yeah,
recall.
I think
Yeah.
it came from The Office.
I've heard of King James breakfast. I've not heard of it. Yeah. Well, that's because we're cultural savages. I'm sorry, Bob. We don't know. Should know better.
I did that this morning, our time. I fried up some eggs, poached eggs, and sausage grits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm kind of digging this. This is looking kind of cool.
Looks really good. You're actually making me thinking about getting some watercolor.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good medium. It is. I just, I'm really, comfortable in my comic arena with using alcohol markers and things, and it's good to come out of your comfort zone sometimes. It's good to do something kind of new and see if you can figure it out and how you want it to look. And that's what we've done tonight. We've sort of like real time figured out how this would work on a piece of paper I cut. Oh, it's buckling now. Look at that, Bobby. It's full of water. But we could put it in top loader and fit cheap. Yeah, to me, it needs some lining still. It needs a little bit of straightening up on some of the lines, but I'm digging it. It's looking kind of nice.
How fast does that dry when you're doing that with the watercolor?
It's pretty fast. I'm reactivating it. It's pretty fast. It's buckling because it's not a card, I think, and it's just paper. And
Mm.
I've also cut it. I could have done this on a larger sheet, but I wanted to keep it on, be honest, and like have a card size. And I was able to create one off of a trace. I had one of my books to, like a sample, and I was able to recreate it. But all right, that's not too bad. Let me play up here a little bit with this piece. I'll do something with this. Go in here. Let me just go in here for a second. Get right back with you. It's muted. Yes.
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
I get my headphones.
Had to mute there for a minute, but come back. Just want to do a few little last lining steps. Don't have to do some of these, but just want to add a little more shadow here and there. But absolutely don't have to, not necessary. Almost there, guys. Prefer to have another multi-liner, but this is all right. Let's do a little bit of shading down there. Over there. There's our white pencil here. Like a little haloing around the edge of the skull here. Nothing major. Thunderstorm outside. All right. Do one more thing. Just to look a little bit more around the edge here. We're getting that to come out really well. And this is the 8 again. There we go. Not getting that to play well with the wax there. Would prefer to have some white paint, but I don't. Just be patient with the pen and you should get something out of it. I do have an alternate uniball pen that's more paint based I like to use for some times like this, but this will do. Just be patient, work with it. You get like a little bit of highlight there around it. And I like to add that sometimes to the wax a little bit. Not sure I'm going to get the effect I want tonight with this, but like that. Not to do every one of them, just enough to show you around. And if you don't like your coverage on them, go back over with your pencil and take some of that white out of there. Like that. Do one there. All right. That's gonna do it for me tonight. Thanks everyone for joining. Hanging out with this long live stream on with an interesting set of tools tonight. So thank you,
Good job.
Bobby, Patrick, Joe, Jason, everybody out there who didn't miss. I missed a couple people, but I appreciate you all joining, checking things out. Thanks, Bobby, again. Be sure to check out his live, well, his videos. No, sorry, not his live stream, but his videos on Bobby B's channel, Bobby B. And be back with you soon. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the drawing. Have a good evening.